Hi, I'm Chris,
I'm Sean.
and welcome to the South Coast Social.
All right, episode 3.
Episode 3. We've made it to 3.
Mate, we're still back in my bar.
I know, we need to sort something out. We'll get this season done. We'll sort something out a bit more permanent, a bit of switching around.
I was going to say, it's got a pretty big Saints bias. If you're just listening, there's a lot of Saints memorabilia around.
I've bought the Pompey shirt today, though, so I'm going to try and even it up a little bit. It's not quite...
Yeah, to be fair, I've allowed that in my house.
Yeah, which is actually a big thing for you. It's a big thing. So who would have thought this a few years ago? So yeah,
we have had a bit of feedback on the last episode,
right?
And it's constructive feedback.
There's nothing really. It's good. It was good.
It was on me.
Okay.
Apparently, I was clicking my pen too much.
Oh.
Last time. And it was really off-putting. So I've changed my pen to one that doesn't click. I just fiddle otherwise. And if I don't write things down when I'm thinking about them, we'll forget to do it. So I need a pen.
Oh, if that's the constructive feedback, then we're doing all right, I think. It's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, welcome more feedback if anyone's got it. But just be nice. But I've changed the pen. So if you catch me fiddling around with it, just give me a slap.
Right. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Good. All right. So we'll talk about the games over the last week then. The fact you're here, if you remember last week, you said if we get to a cup final, you're not coming in, I'll have to do it on my own. So the fact you're here means that it's not a great week for me. Should we start with that game?
Yeah. Should we get?
You might be better off telling me about that game a little bit more because I was well oiled.
Yeah, after speaking to you on the way up, and what was it, 8:30, and you're already in the pub. So yeah, there wasn't going to be a lot of sense coming out of me, was there?
No. I'm still feeling it a little bit now.
Should we have a beer? You can't forget the beer. I know you've had a heavy weekend.
I have had a heavy weekend.
And you had the game last night, so...
it is the social. We do need a beer.
Let's have a beer. Should we try some of these?
Yeah, get me a Northern Monk.
Yeah, Northern Monk, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, going on to your game on Saturday, I didn't actually watch it. I had the pleasure of listening to the last probably half an hour on the radio in the car on the way home, and obviously you scored, and there was a few F-bombs thrown in front of my kids, and I was very worried. And I knew what I said to you last week, that I won't be back, and I knew that you couldn't win because I'd never hear the end of it. Pompey fans would never hear the end of it. And there was, you were looking like Leeds or Chelsea.
And did you watch the Leeds and Chelsea game?
Yeah, they weren't great, were they?
No, I really fancied my chances against them, to be fair, which is really annoying. But so fair enough. Okay, well, my experience today, like you said, we were in the pub at 8:30, hired a minibus to go up there, which wasn't dry. And then we got there, we went to... have you been to the Green Man before?
Yeah,
I assume you would have gone there, parked there, and then had a couple and went over to Box Park. Had a lot in Box Park. I met Cameron Bragg's mum in there, or somebody who claimed to be Cameron Bragg's mum, but she was Scottish, and he does play for Scotland under 21s, even though he's from Winchester. So it would be a weird lie.
Yeah, of all the players you could choose, maybe he wouldn't have been on top of the list to try and bring.
He's a decent player, and I think he'll go on to big things. But yeah, it's not the first name that would come to mind. So I asked her if he'd start, and she said, I don't know, but had a big grin on her face. So I think that gave it away a little bit.
Did he start?
He did, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he played very well. But yeah, he met Cameron Bragg's mum in there. That's about all I remember of that. And then, yeah, the game itself.
Do you remember much about the game?
To be fair, I did. I wasn't too bad. I did start to slow down a little bit because I wanted to remember the game. Yeah. I remember the cup final I went to, League Cup final. That was a bit of a different thing. And I thought, if I ever go to Wembley again, I need to make sure I remember it.
I've had some not criticism, I've had some constructive feedback, and it was that you talk about Wembley a hell of a lot, and that I should probably get something rather than a bell.
You're going to have to get a little horn.
I'm going to get a horn or
it is our second home.
Tambourine.
It is our second
home. Yeah, okay.
So yeah, no, I thought next time, or the next few times we go, I'll make sure that I don't forget it. So yeah, got into Wembley, and I think the build up to it was felt big, but it was one of those games compared to the last time we were there for the playoffs. The pressure felt like it was off. You wanted us to win, and you were a bit worried about us getting spanked potentially. But I don't think anybody genuinely thought that would happen, just because of the way that we've been playing the last however long, few months. So it was just a case of, I think, getting through the first sort of 20 minutes unscathed. And like I said to you last week, like we needed to ensure that our goal lived a charm life, our keeper had a good game, our centre back had a good, like we had to have, and everybody had a good game. So it was set up pretty well. We scored a goal in the first half that was given as offside, and it was the right decision. Fortunately, I saw the flag, so I didn't have that heartbreak moment. I did see the flag just as I sort of started to celebrate. I saw it fly up.
A lot of fans didn't see it.
No, I was telling everyone around me that I was breaking their hearts for them. But that would have been, I felt like that would have been too early to score anyway. Yeah. I know that sounds stupid, but if you get a choice to score, and I think I said to you before, didn't I? If we're going to win the game, it's got to be 1-0,
yeah.
And therefore you've got to score late.
Yeah.
And then we scored in the 80th minute.
Yeah, that was a shit time for me.
For a start, what a goal. Like
it was a good goal, yeah. It was, to be fair, all 3 goals, even though it was a deflection for their first, all 3 goals, he hit it. He hit it well. All 3 goals were, especially your one and their second were.
Yeah. They were all outside
the
the area, weren't they?
Yeah.
So, but that went in. But that was the only time, because it was at our end, I think that was the only time we had an effort, or up to that point, got into their penalty area or anywhere near their goal, to be honest, for that whole entire half. The whole half was down their end. And they were creating bits, but it just felt like our day, especially when that goal went in.
Yeah.
Because you just thought, this is it now. And
because they had their B team out, didn't they?
My missus doesn't watch this, so it's fine. It was the best 3 minutes of my life.
Only 3 minutes? Wow, okay.
Well, yeah. But, yeah, best 3 minutes of my life. Honestly, I've been in celebrations, and that was an incredible moment, just of outburst of unexpected joy. Because it came from nowhere, it was a bit of a breakaway. We won the ball back on halfway, got down the other end, and it got fired into the top corner. It was obviously at our end as well. And you had that belief. But then, yeah, I mean, Doku, as soon as he came on, was causing us trouble.
They had to bring him on, though, didn't they? They had to bring him on. I mean, Haaland, this isn't the fact of the day, but a fact is that Haaland has never scored a goal in a semi-final or final for Manchester City.
Really?
Really. That is the fact.
Wow.
So even though he came on, he didn't really do a lot, did he? I mean,
a lot of that, and I said, as much as our players have to have a good day, we need a few of those to have an off day. But then they did. I mean, Foden did nothing.
No, he didn't. Did Semedo come on? Was he on?
So, no. Turkey, I didn't even know he was playing, so I didn't really take a great deal of
quality lately as well.
Exactly, he was the one player I was really worried about. I thought if he's running at us, he's going to cause us a lot of problems. But I didn't really notice him. I haven't watched the game back.
Doku though, I know on the radio they made a big point about him coming on because when he scored the last 2 goals or something to get him through to the semi-final or something, or no, he scored the 2 goals in the against Arsenal in the Carabao Cup final that won him. So they made a big thing more of him coming on than Haaland. But it did take their big guns coming on, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
To an extent.
But he was the one. And then obviously, I think the one thing I'm really quite relieved about, and I think why we've taken the defeat so well, is it wasn't heartbreaking. We didn't have that. So we didn't go 1-0 up and then they scored in like the stoppage time. And then again, I think that would have been hard to take. When they scored, it was kind of like, oh, that was fun while it lasted. And then the second one, you just have to take half to what the.
I was panicking. I was definitely panicking when that goal went in for you. I was texting my mate. We're driving home, and I was texting my mate. I said,
"You weren't driving, though."
No, I was definitely not driving. No, the wife was driving, which was probably for the best because I wouldn't have been able to concentrate. I was texting my mate saying, "Oh, I can't believe it." He's another avid Pompey fan, and he was like, "I can't believe it." Anyway, so we've pulled up at the house, I've switched the engine off, and I've got out of the car, and I've just had about 100 laughing face emojis. I was like, either they've scored again, and City are getting battered, or City have scored. I was like, please be City. I opened up the front door, running, got the TV on, and it was 1-0, and I was like, oh, thank God for that.
Yeah.
Normal services resumed.
Yeah.
And, like you just said, their second goal, what a goal.
Yeah.
I mean, yours was good, really.
I think we just needed the goal to live a bit more of a charm life than it did. It worked up to a point, but yeah.
But to win a game, that was fully deserved to win a game.
Oh, the goal, yeah.
Yeah, the goal. The team performance for Man City over the game was not
He hit that so pure. I mean, it wasn't right in the postage stamp, but it was sort of top corner.
Yeah.
And a few people were like, well, that's on the goalkeeper's side, like near... not.
Hasn't there been a bit of criticism saying that he should have done better for one of the goals? Or apparently I read someone...
I heard about I think it's probably just a few people online trying to get a reaction. No keeper in the world is saving that second goal.
Really?
Because it's past him before he even sees it, and it's a hell of a strike. Yeah, it wasn't right in the corner. It wasn't far off the corner. I mean, the deflected one was just unlucky. It just sort of curled around him.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bad deflection. He got man of the match for that deflection, and was it Jack Stevens that put it in?
No, he didn't play.
Oh, it was unfortunate because that deflection could have gone anyway, couldn't it?
Well, yeah, and that's one of those things when I say about a charm life.
Yeah.
If that deflection hits the post or goes wide,
But for some reason,
carries on.
They turned it on then, didn't they, City?
Yeah.
The thing
is, when it went 1-1, we knew he scored again.
Oh, wow, yeah.
We went up the other end, and Matsky had a shot. To be fair, it was right at Trafford. He had to save it, but if it was either left or right of him, he'd have struggled, I think, to get there. Because again, he hit that with a lot of power, and I don't know what I would have spontaneously combust if we'd gone 2-1 up straight away. But
I get why Man City put a second strength team out. I mean, they've got a huge fixture pile up now, haven't they? And they're obviously going for the league. But I think there is a lot of these big clubs now. I mean, Arsenal put out a pretty good team against you. They put out a pretty good team against us. But they do believe that I don't know. Do they take it seriously?
I think they do, especially Pep. I think they take it seriously because they want to win doubles and trebles and quadruples and things like that. So they do take it seriously. And I'm not being funny. If Man City's second squad, and it wasn't all second.
No, there was definitely.
But Man City's 1 to 11 second choice players would finish in the top 3 of the Premier League. Yeah, probably second, to be honest.
Of course, they're getting most teams across Europe, top teams across Europe.
Yeah, so it's never, no matter who it's such a cliche, but no matter who they played, it was going to be a difficult game. But yeah, I mean, we made a few changes as well, but it wasn't to make us weaker in any way. We had a couple of suspensions and a couple of injuries. And we've had a couple of injuries since as well, but yeah, I mean it was a great day.
I'm just glad normal service resumed and he didn't make the final. So
I would have been so Saints though to beat Man City and lose to Leeds, to be honest, or something like that. Or,
Chelsea they're nothing. They look awful as well as Leeds did. It was a rubbish game compared to the City Southampton game. That was a poor semi-final. But yeah, I think it would have been a typical for anyone to have played so well. Forget Saints for the moment, but anyone who played so well getting into that position. And then to lose to a really poor team like them, Leeds or Chelsea.
Yeah. I mean, they still would, whoever we played would have still been favourites, but I would have fancied our chances against them, to be honest. But like I said, if the fairy tale of beating 3 Premier League teams and making it 4th in the final, it would have been an incredible achievement. But wasn't to be, but I had a really good day. I've come away from that stadium having lost a few times, and it's because we hadn't turned up. I can't say that this time. So
that's what you asked for as a football fan, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It was sort of glorious defeat, unfortunately, but we move on, and hopefully it's inspired them a little bit that it's a long way to go, but if we do go up, it means that they have a little bit more belief in them from where they were last season, where we only beat 2 Premier League teams and one of them got relegated with us. So really, we only beat 1 Premier League team last season. So yeah, hopefully it's given them a bit of confidence and they'll push on from it. But yeah, it was a really good day. But unfortunately,
wasn't
for this side of it, wasn't meant to be.
That's a good result for us.
And then it was earlier that day, wasn't it? You were playing Stoke.
It was a 3 o'clock.
Yeah, we were.
You were. Yeah, of course you were. Yeah, 3 o'clock kick-off. Stoke, meaningless game.
Can I just quote you for 1 second? We ain't got 3 goals in us.
I know. I say that our last 3-0 was Millwall. Which was only February, but I couldn't see us having 3 goals. We went to Stoke last year. Yeah. All right, it was the first half of the season. They battered us 6-0. We got there today or Saturday, and somehow pulled out a result. Bazuna didn't play.
Yes, that was the other thing I wanted. I'm glad you reminded me of that because I put a clip out there about will he bottle it?
Yeah,
I haven't actually looked to see if he bottled it injured or whatever.
I have no idea, but they didn't play him.
He bottled it.
He
bottled it.
He didn't play against it. He didn't play against us, probably for the best. But I mean, he done well for us. It would have been interesting to see what they did. But yeah, we picked up a 3-1 win, hat trick for Segatic. So
he's a strange player.
He's he
came in. It was from Australia.
Yeah.
And he seemed like he had a bit of a finish on him.
Yep.
And then he started really well, and then went really
fizzled
off the boil.
Put back on the bench, had a couple of injuries.
Yeah.
I mean, he's scored 10 goals with 6 assists this season from
good,
17 starts, something like that. So around that, I saw it today in a press conference. There, something like that. And for someone who's come from the A-League, it's not the well-known league. I mean, other than Harry Kewell, I can't really remember a lot of Australian players. But he's done well. If he had a decent run in the side, the problem with Segatic is he's definitely got quality. But he's a left-footed player playing on the right.
Okay.
And he's very predictable. And I think teams have found him out because he hasn't got a right foot. So he has to cut in and hit it with his left, whether it's passing, crossing, shooting. Stoke gave him a lot of space and too much space.
Oh, I saw the first goal. He took about 3 touches before he had to finish it, didn't he?
I mean, he scored a similar goal against Coventry Tuesday night. And if he's given the space, he can hit him, and he can hit him, and he normally finds the target, whether it's a save or a goal. So to get 3 goals, I mean, fair play to the lad. He's only young as well. We've gone up there, a good result that we didn't see coming. We've totaled our points from last season, 54, which isn't bad. So I'll take that. Yeah, it was one of those games that wasn't a lot going on, but
it's a hell of a run you're on at the moment, though, isn't it? Coventry aside.
Yeah, Coventry aside, which was, you look back, like we've talked about it lots, I mean, QPR away, and then that turning point at the international break, we've lost 1 game, and we've,
To the champions.
Yeah, to the champions. I mean, I think they knew that they were going to be champions. We knew that Oxford were losing.
So what's changed? Sort of Murphy came back.
Murphy, made an impact again on Saturday.
Crosses.
Put a few crosses, set up. I think he had 2 assists at the weekend. That's just that was more of a cherry on the cake just to stay, on the top. What's changed? It was bad at QPR. We've talked about it. We won't go over it.
Yeah.
I don't know the mentality. They've got the players there that are able to switch it and switch on and know what it takes to stay in that league. And I think that's what the difference between us, Oxford, are, and maybe Leicester. Leicester couldn't pick up a win to save their lives. Oxford were on a good run, came to us, should have won with the extra man, didn't. And maybe psychologically that messed them up. I don't know. I never saw those 3 wins come in. And even at Stoke, I would have taken... I think I said 1-1 in the predictions.
You did, yeah.
And that would have been a good result for us. And we've picked up way more points away from home this season than we did last season. Our away form has massively helped this year. Our home form has been a lot worse than last year. What's changed? It's just, I think the mentality. We've had injuries come back. We've had bigger players come back. We've had bigger players actually turn up. Pack hasn't had the best of season. He's had an all right season. He's had, Pack is Pack. He's solid. He's a lot older now. He makes wayward passes. But then he also has outstanding games.
Yeah.
And that run of the game since the QPR, he was probably one of our strongest players in keeping things going. And I mean, I talk about one thing. We made changes on Saturday, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Took out quite a few, made 5 changes, 6 changes. Within the first 2 minutes, our goalkeeper, very first kick of the game, done his quad in. So he was substituted in the very first 2 minutes. So that wasn't great. Good result for us. It ties it off nicely. If we could get a win this weekend...
Was Stoke on the beach or was it...
100%.
Yeah.
Well, you look at Stoke at the start of the season. Stoke were top 5.
They were up there.
Up there, and they were
when we played them at home, I think we drew with them. They were second at the time.
And everyone was like, where the heck's this come from? They were struggling last season. They look good. And then they've had a bit of decline. They're comfortable mid-table. I think they were on the beach. But then I believe Pompey are somewhat on the beach, but they had more. They wanted it more.
The pressure's just off them now.
Yeah. I think after the Leicester game, the pressure was truly off. Like Coventry did go to plan. And I think this Saturday we'll see a good game. And I'd like to see us beat Birmingham because it's nice to see them not big up their fans saying, they're going to walk the league and go up to the Premier League like Wrexham and all that rubbish. So it'd be nice because they finished mid-table. So
indeed, yeah. Well, we'll come on to that one in a minute.
Yep.
But, beforehand, we've got last night's game,
Ipswich,
which I know you watched because you were texting me during the game.
Yeah, I watched patches of it, mainly the second half, probably the last half an hour, 35 minutes. Well, I watched the first 10 minutes, and where was those 35,000 fans that you had at Wembley singing you on and cheering on? Because there was a lot of empty seats. All right, it was 5 minutes into the game, but the one image they showed on Sky was there was a lot of empty seats down that side. And I took a picture of it as well, just to make sure.
You made the mistake of showing me the picture that you had, and it was a sellout.
I heard
so there's nothing more you can do. It went to Ticket Exchange or whatever. But I've got some pictures of my visit to Fratton, which was apparently a sellout. And there seems to be... Can you see those? Those empty seats there? And
yeah, they were the ones who ran on the pitch and got arrested.
And there's more empty seats over there. So, yeah. I don't know.
I mean, they say it's a sellout. They say we sell out every game. But I know for a fact with Portsmouth, they count the season ticket holders as guaranteed admission tickets.
Yeah. I don't know how they count it in terms... Because it was 31,000 something. I know there's obviously segregation.
Ipswich sold out, didn't they? They had a good
Yeah. I mean, they were going to be basically all but promoted if they won yesterday. But yeah, it was a sellout. I mean, to be brutally honest, my nephew doesn't go to midweek games. He's only 7 years old, so he doesn't go. So maybe there was a bit of that, but it's not excuses. It was a sellout. I don't know what more you can say, but yeah, 35,000 at Wembley and then another 30,000 in the stadium. We can talk about attendances if you want.
Well,
I mean, it's an argument I might win.
Well, we'll do that for another one. But I took some notes
of the game. Okay, all right. Let's hear your notes, and I'll.
Well, I've put down. You definitely look leggy, which is understandable.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say you weren't outplayed. Ipswich were playing very well. That's probably their best away. Like you pointed out, it's probably their best away game they've had.
I've watched Ipswich a few times recently, and I thought they looked very ordinary, especially against you.
They looked
incredibly ordinary.
Yeah.
I would agree with you. They look leggy. Some more than others. I look at players like James Bree. He's been flogged. He's playing every single game. Finn Azaz. So there are a few players in there who do play every game. And yeah, I'd imagine the high of the expenditure on the body, but mentally and physically, playing at Wembley on Saturday evening and then coming into this massive game as well and getting themselves up for it. I still think they played well. I think it was a bit end-to-end. It was clear both teams wanted to win it.
Of course, yeah.
I don't think a draw did either of us any good. I mean, it's still in Ipswich hands, but I don't think it's what they wanted.
They were
still going for it. Yeah. And I think in the last 20 minutes, you could see I was quite surprised. Tondereka only made 2 subs. I haven't looked back unless there was ones that came on and I didn't notice. But I think he only made 2 subs, and I was calling for a sub for 20 minutes. And that was Larin. He was limping all over the place. He got bashed on the ankle and he was limping, but it looked like he was trying to run it off. And he just wasn't running it off. And Ross Stewart was warming up. Then he sat down. And I couldn't get my head around it. He's still limping. I kept saying to my brother and people around me, I was like, why is he not taking him off? Why is he not taking him off? And then he scored.
And then that's
why. Yeah. And that I couldn't. So game management, it's a minor thing. And I don't really like gamesmanship, but it's a minor thing. When he scored, we should have kicked off. Then he go down to be taken off.
Yeah.
Don't go straight off whilst the ball's out of play. Slow the game down, take it off. But yeah, I did say at the time when that second goal went in, I did say the game's not over yet. I could tell that Ipswich were going to throw everything at it, and it was either going to be 3-1 or they were going to equalise.
Well, they couldn't come down to the South Coast twice and lose twice, could they? So so they had to somewhat try. I mean,
much as we watered the pitch, and they were, I don't know if you noticed how many people were slipping all over the place. They were slipping everywhere.
Really?
And I was like, are they trying to waterlog this pitch or something to get? I think it was probably at half time.
I mean, they needed second. They needed to win that game, didn't they? They had to win that game to get second because they just wanted it to be done. They've had 3 away games.
They've got a second chance. We had to win.
You had to win.
It would have been a lot better for them to win. But yeah, I mean, we're out of it now. I mean, the game itself, I think they did start really fast. Both teams were giving away possession in sort of like the opposition's third quite often. We had a couple of players who were winning back. Casper Yander had a great game. He had an amazing game against City as well, but he had a great game again. But they were doing the same, and they were just sort of breaking the lines or winning possession back reasonably high up the field and putting us under a fair bit of pressure. Unfortunately, as we mentioned it in the last pod, I didn't think Nathan Wood had a great game against Bristol City. I thought he had a brilliant game against Man City. I don't think he had a brilliant game again against Ipswich. I think the first goal was down to him. He just got caught a bit flat-footed. And then we responded straight away. As soon as we went a goal behind, we looked a lot better. And then we equalised and looked worse again. Finn Azaz nearly scored an absolute wonder goal. But yeah, then we went 2-1 up. And I do think that it was. I wouldn't say it was against the run of play because that makes it sound like Ipswich were all over us. But it was kind of from nothing. Yeah. It wasn't like we were peppering at the time. And yeah, they brought on Jack Clark, who loves to throw himself to the ground, by the way.
He's a good player, though, isn't he?
He was. I mean,
he didn't do nothing against.
It wasn't the greatest clearance. I think it was Shea Carles. He just sort of poked it towards him.
He had a lot of time on it, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, they didn't make a great deal of effort to close him down. No. But and then last minute, Peretz pulls off an absolute wonder save to keep it at 2-2. So yeah, not the result we wanted, and I think everybody's slipping up. I mean, Mildrew of Leicester in the last minute the other day. We've obviously drawn 2 games in a row. Ipswich have drawn. So nobody's really taking it. Yeah. And it means that, we're out of the automatic race.
My take on it was that it definitely, you needed to win that because you ain't got 4 games in you. I don't think you got 4 games to win the
So
playoff.
what? As in, like we haven't got we haven't got the legs for the playoffs.
Yeah, you look leggy. It's a lot of games still. You got a game now, and is it the 9th and 10th of May? You said that the playoff first leg is something like that.
8th and 9th. Yeah.
I mean, it's a week, isn't it?
Yeah. I think the one thing I would say is it depends what he does on Saturday, and we can come on to that in a bit. I'm playing with a pen. You didn't give me a slap.
Oh yeah.
I think it depends what he says, what he does with the team on Saturday. After that, there's a fair gap between the games.
Oh yeah.
So we've not had a gap, but it's been all midweek weekend. So yeah, they're going to have to.
You need it, don't you? You need that break because 4 games to get back to the Premier League for you now.
Yeah.
Well, 5 is it? Yeah, 4 games because you've got the 1 league game left, 2 playoffs and a final.
Yeah.
You've got 4 games to make it back to the Premier League. It will be a typical thing to do so well from where you were in February when you played us before, just as you're starting your run.
Yeah.
To make it to where you have, and you've gone on this cup run that can be amazing if you make the final. Or it could be the undoing, and it could really fudge you going forward and making the final of the playoffs.
I think I really hope the players hear that, or people saying that was the cup run the reason why.
Yeah, because it's going to be an easy
excuse. It sounds like we've lost. We haven't lost. We're still.
Yeah.
Now we're in the league, 18 or 19 games undefeated. We just have to go. I'd say 4 more, but we technically only have to go 3 more games undefeated, and then we're back in the Premier League. Look, I mean, I remember when we finished 4th under Russell Martin, and we were playing Leeds before going into the playoffs, and they were also in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And a lot of people said, this is kind of previewing the Preston game, so we might as well. A lot of people said, play your reserves against them and then go beat them in the playoffs or whatever. And he didn't, and we beat them. Yeah. And I think that set us up perfectly to go into those playoffs with confidence and everything. So I'm a little bit. I'm obviously disappointed we didn't get into Automax, but that's such a minor disappointment because I would have snapped your hand off for 6th place about 2 months ago.
God, yeah.
So it's strange because we just had that sort of glimmer. We were never favourites for it, so it's not like we've lost anything. We've not bottled anything because we were never there to bottle it. But it was one of those. Imagine if it happened, it would be quite surreal. But it's not going to. We've got Preston. The thing that's resting on the Preston game is, I think, form. You want to go in and form. And I would want us to finish 3rd or 4th because then you've got the second leg at home in the playoffs, and I think that makes a big difference. And the thing is with that is
it's probably going to be Middlesbrough, isn't it?
Well, that's the thing. So you could have. I'm not sure I'd really want to go to Middlesbrough midweek away. It's a long way to go for that. So there's so many ways that you can look at it. Obviously, it depends what they do. They might go up.
So you've just brought up about the Leeds 2 years ago. If you played a full strength team.
Yeah, so, I mean, there might have been a couple of changes. Yeah, it was essentially a full.
So if you go to Preston this weekend and he makes wholesale changes, tries to freshen it up, rest players, are you going to be worried, or are you still thinking you've got it?
It's 6 of one and half a dozen the other. I think he should rest a couple of players because. So James Bree, I think he should rest because we haven't got another option. We've got Yeller, who's not played, so you might as well just get some minutes into him. I worry about the keeper because we haven't got another keeper. And possibly Cienza just manage his minutes, not completely rest him, but just don't play him for the full game. But the rest of them, I think, continue to play. I can't see any reason to rest them. Jack Stevens is just coming back from injury. I don't know whether he's going to be fit or not.
Who's the one who's been banned for 3 games for that dirty elbow? Because that was naughty, wasn't it? That was naughty. I mean, you had 2 players sandwich him, fair dues, but that elbow, which wasn't punished at the time, but he's been banned since.
Well, he got booked.
Oh, was it a booking, was it?
He got booked, but I think it might have... Well, it must have been. The referee must have said it was for a reaction or something or dissent, because if the referee's seen it, you can't retrospectively do it.
No. It was bad, wasn't it?
So he's got 3 games out now.
Who was that?
Well, Flynn Downs. So he couldn't play in the cup game, couldn't play last night.
So he'll be back for the first playoff.
Yeah, and that's why we didn't appeal it. Apparently, we didn't go into appeal because then
they could
he would have played the cup game.
Oh, and then
the 3rd game would be the semi-final,
right?
And then they could have extended to 4. Right. So yeah, they didn't appeal it for that reason. And we've got decent players in that position anyway. Possibly not as
he learned
effective
that from
as
Roy Keane, then, did he? Is he the one who's
no? That's Harvard Bellish.
Harvard
Bellish. Although I haven't seen it back. Apparently, he's left an elbow on someone as well.
Has he?
So, and the referee definitely didn't see that. So we'll see.
What, in the same game?
No, yeah, last night.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
I don't know if it was repeated on Sky or not. I did see a player go down, and I just saw a few messages saying, "Oh, Bellas has done something there." Yeah. So anyway, yeah, back to the Preston game. I would say, I think he should do a couple of. I mean, he's been changing sort of 5 or 6 players quite regularly. He just needs to change, maybe 3 or 4, but in slightly different positions, just so that we can get some minutes into some players and rest those that have literally been playing every single minute of every game.
Because you're going, aren't you?
Or Preston, yeah.
Which was supposed to be your promotion party.
Well,
that's what you said to me.
It was a bit of an insurance one. I could not, the 6,000 going.
You said to me, I can't not go and then be the day and the game that we go up to the Premier League. That was your words to me, and it's not happening, is it?
It's not happening, but it'll be a good day.
It'll be good.
Last away games of the season are always good atmosphere. And there's still a little bit riding on it, so it's not a complete.
No, I mean, Preston have got nothing playing on it, have they? They're done, so they'll be gone. They're on the beach.
So I think with that, it's going to be it's a really hard game to predict. To be honest, I still think we'll win. I think we'll make hard work of it. So I'll just go 2-1 to us. But I think it's not going to be an easy game. I think it'll be similar to the Derby game, and I think it was Blackburn as well. We did similar too. So I think it'll just be an uninspiring 2-1 to us.
I mean, Preston are one of those topsy-turvy teams that they you don't know what team's going to turn up, do you? They've got absolutely nothing to play for. I reckon it'll be an absolutely dire game. Thankfully, I'm not going to watch it because I'm a bit Fratton Park. I'm going to go Saints 1-0 win.
Ooh, we're going to Saints win.
Yeah, only because Ipswich, Preston have got absolutely nothing to play for. I think the Middlesbrough are going to win. I think all 3 are going to win. I think all 4 of you are going to win.
One of them, I mean, it doesn't matter whether we win in terms of the automatic promotions, but I think out of the 3 that are left, one of them is just going to have a nightmare.
Well, I'm hoping it's Ipswich. Because like I've said all the way along, since we've been doing this, I'd love to see Millwall go up for as the...
as we can't go up automatically, I'd rather Millwall go up automatically as well. So
because they've beaten you twice this season, haven't they?
Ipswich, once in a draw. A draw at home, yeah.
They're a team that could beat anyone.
Just a new name going in.
I'd like it. Yeah. They haven't been up there for a while, have they? So let's do that. 1-0 Saints. Yeah, I'd do that. So we have got
Pompey fan is predicting a Saints win.
I can't believe this.
Clipping that.
Yeah, you can clip it. It's the only time in the remainder of this season that I will be predicting a win because, like I've said all the way along, you will not be getting promoted. So you can clip it as many times as you like. This would be the only time I'm going to be giving you a 1-0 win.
Okay, fine.
Right.
We'll move on to the Birmingham game, a literal dead rubber. I don't know how much time you want to spend on this, but
let's go out on a high. Let's beat last year's total.
I think you will go out on a high, by the way.
I think we'll win. I think Birmingham have nothing to play for. I think the pressure's off. I think that there's a lot of chatter around Mousinho. Will he stay? Will he go?
I was going to bring that up.
Yeah, there's a lot of chatter in there. He's come out and said that he has no intention of going. He loves the club. He's grateful for the club.
Did he actually use those words?
He did say he loved the club.
Oh, okay.
And he also said he's grateful for the owners and the board for giving him that opportunity to be taken into management.
Yeah.
And he isn't going to blindside the club. He's not going to hold them to ransom. He's not going to blindside the fans. He's going to be up front. He's come out and said that he doesn't want to leave. But that means nothing in football, does it? Let's be honest. But
didn't he say something along the lines of, I want to stay so long as the ambition or investment?
The ambition of the club. In the press conference today, along the lines of, he said that the ambition of the club has to match, the ambition of the owners has to match his ambition, and he is a spokesperson for the wider Pompey community, as in the fans.
Right.
And he sees what...
So he's covered his own back if he goes.
He's covered his own back, basically saying that if he goes, it's down to the owners, and if he stays, it's down to the owners.
Oh, he's put pressure on him then.
Oh, he's put pressure on him. And let's be honest, I saw just before I came round, there's our Portsmouth Supporters Trust always do an end of season questionnaire just to see where things are at and to take to the owners because of what happened, and they're always part of the club now. And last year, I think it was 35% of the fans that were asked the questions were in favour of the playing budget increased at a risk of, the player budget of buying players and the wage bill increased over the risk of not financial ruin, but putting you into more debt.
Yeah.
That was 35%. This year, they've polled, and there are 87% of the Portsmouth fans want more money spent on.
Oh, short memories.
Yeah, but like you said, the average loss in the Championship this year is something like 13.9 or 14.3 million pounds per average club.
Yeah.
And we're at 4.38.
Yeah.
Who makes money in football?
Nobody ever makes money in football.
You look at Barcelona, you look at Man United, they're £1 billion in debt.
Yeah.
But
it's sustainable.
But we are never going to be like that. I'm not saying go out and spend £20 million on a player, but it seems like now the fans are happy with the investment they've done on bought the training ground. They're happy with the changes they made at Fratton Park to make it safe so we can get at most capacity in there. They want money spent on the pitch. And I think that they want money spent on the pitch as long as it's spent wisely and not just thrown on a player from Argentina that no one's ever heard of, and you're taking a whim and paying him £4.5 million for.
Yeah.
As an example for Caballero. You've got...
He wasn't £4.5 million, was he?
No, we've got him on loan with an option to buy for £4.5 million.
Oh, I was going to say, I thought there was a loan fee of £4.5 million.
No, so there is an option to buy for £4.5 million.
Okay,
but
it's not going to be taken up.
No, you've got to be wise, and they are wise. But so he's covered his bases. He's going to, apparently they're having conversations tomorrow with the owners prior to the game. They're flying in, and he's going to basically outline what his ambitions are, what he believes the fans' ambitions are, and we'll ask him what their ambitions are. And let's be honest, if they're sensible, they're
going to say
we're going to be bottom feeders again and relegation rivals and all that. They've not said that ever since they've been there. They've always said they want to be sustainable. They've always said we will not get relegated. And he came out at Christmas and all the fans laughed at him because we were in the right state. And he said, we will not get relegated.
Right, yeah.
And he is right, but my God, were we close?
Yeah.
And it could
have easily gone the other way.
It could have very easily gone the other way. And a lot of fans, Saints fans, other rival fans, Leicester got their points deduction. They were lucky. West Brom got...
It will be a harder year next year.
Oh, God, it will. Look at the teams that's coming down.
Yeah.
And the teams that are coming up.
Yeah.
Cardiff are back. You know...
I don't know what Lincoln are like, but and you don't know who's going to come up through the playoffs, maybe Bolton or someone, but you're not going to have as many bad or really poorly performing teams.
You're not going to have the Oxfords. You're not going to have Sheffield Wednesday in dire straits. You're not going to have Leicester that have had points deducted and are on a massive loss straight. Yeah. West Ham, Spurs, one of those two, or Forest. And then you've got Wolves and Burnley. Burnley are a good championship team.
100 points every time they come down.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I think it's going to be a hard year next year. The thing is with the owners, I mean... This is meant to be a Birmingham preview, but I suppose they were talking about it before in the press conference. But I can't envisage where they've got a manager coming into them and they say, "What's your ambition?" Because if it's not good enough, I'm off.
Yeah.
And they say, "Well, yeah, no, our ambition is to finish fourth from bottom."
Yeah.
They'll be like, "Yeah, we want to build." And you've got eighth place going into the playoffs next season as well. So it's really easy to say, playoffs. But will they back it up? Is another question because you could end up just keeping him. And then ended up with a really disgruntled manager at the start of the season.
That wishes he had gone to someone else.
Yeah. Now because it's Bristol City, we mentioned it last time as well. So those rumours have been around for a while and they're not going
Stephen
away.
Gerrard is also, and Steve Cottrell, weirdly.
Oh, okay. But
they're not going away.
Have they really got the playing budget that he's asking for?
I think they've got more of a playing budget than we have. They've obviously got a big stadium.
They used to. I know they were really ambitious, but it seems to have waned a little bit. I mean, they've sold their... sort of best striker in January and things, and it seemed like they were actually just throwing it away a little bit.
See, you said about ambition. And you said about 8th place. I'd happily do a Stoke. Mess around in the top 8 or 9, top 7 for 3 or 4 games, a dozen games, and then happily finish 12th.
Yeah,
just as stability.
But it's still progress.
It's progress. Now. I don't know. You're right. Does he? But then who else is coming in for him?
Yeah.
We don't know. I mean, let's be honest.
They won't be the only one. There'll be at the end of the season. There'll be a few Championship manager casualties or poaches, and therefore
he has done miracles.
Yeah. And I think if that's recognised by 2 or 3 owners, then he's going to be.
And do you know what's annoying though? We spoke about this before off the pod, and you said that Pompey lucked out with getting Mourinho, player/coach. And how often does that happen? Not too often.
Never. I can't think of it.
And they've lucked out. They've lucked out with someone who has done he's done magic. And a big thing in the Pompey press at the moment with the Portsmouth News and those sort of papers, they're really pushing if you see Mourinho go, do you want Marlon Pack to take over as manager? No. And do you know what the scary thing? No, do you know what the scary thing is?
You could see it happening, couldn't you?
I could see it happening, and a lot of the fans are saying, "Yeah, get him in," and a lot of fans are saying, "Ma, it's a year too early. Get him in as a coach." I'm sorry, Marlon Pack as a manager.
It could happen one day, but
but we've lucked out once.
Yeah.
We cannot push our luck
big
and luck
risk,
out.
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a big risk.
Come on. You've gone from Mousinho in League One, who was playing for Oxford and coaching, getting us into the Championship, surviving 2 very unlikely back-to-back saviours of staying in the Championship. He goes to bigger and so-called better things, and they hire Marlon Pack. And he's expected to keep us in the Championship. No.
I mean,
no.
It could work, but I think, like you say, you took a big risk, or they took a big risk with Mousinho, and
it worked.
Against the odds, it paid off. Have they got that little bit of confirmation bias now where they go, well, it's easy, isn't it?
Yeah,
We'll just do it
cheap
again.
option. I reckon this might be a good thing that we're probably... Should we put up... maybe we'll do a little vote and see what Pompey fans think.
Yeah.
And see if Mousinho, unfortunately, does go, would they be happy to see an unknown player, coach, or Marlon Pack take charge?
Okay, so if Mousinho goes, would you be happy to see Pack take over?
Yeah, I think that'd be good just to see where Pompey fans are at, because my personal view is not at the moment. Let's wait and see. But if we're going to luck out, we're not going to luck out again. So, but going back to Birmingham, I reckon 1-0. Just a 1-0 to Pompey. It'll be a...
I think it's going to be, I think 1-1.
Yeah. I think there's going to be beach balls. There's going to be a lot of messing around. And there's going to be a lot of... But I reckon there might be a 1-0 goal in it. Maybe Murphy.
So on the subject of score predictions, we haven't done many this season, but I have got an update for you.
Okay.
So, so the way it's worked out is if you get the correct result, you get 1 point. If you get the correct score, you get 3 points.
Okay.
So I've got 2 correct results so far, so I've got 2 points.
Who were they? What were they? Which ones were they? Do you know?
Oh, I can't remember.
We'll find out for another day.
Yeah. I'd said Ipswich was going to be 1-1, so that's the correct result. I must have got another one of the other one.
Yeah.
And you've got 2 correct results.
Oh, there we go then.
You've also got a correct score.
Oh,
I'm good. You put Ipswich Saints 2-2.
Did I?
Yeah, you said 2-2, so you've got 5 points. So it's currently 5-2 to you going into the final week of the season. I don't know. We'll
carry it on for the playoffs.
We'll do it for playoffs as well. So there's still a way to go. But as it stands,
it's not bad, is it?
Pompey fans winning.
Yeah, well, it's not unusual.
This is like This is like pre-season.
Yeah,
it's not. This isn't the real.
This is the build-up. Wait till August. Wait till August, and
next season we'll get a full season in. But so you're currently winning the Predictor lead. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Moving on then, so back to our sponsor. So episode 3, sponsor has come back for the 3rd week in a row. And I just want to say, first thing, so the sponsor is Buy, Play, Trade in Bitton. So if you haven't listened to the other episodes, they've sponsored the last 2 episodes as well. And they're the leading retailer of Pokemon cards in the UK. They're doing wonderful business, but I think you said it to me.
I couldn't believe it.
You saw this online before I saw it.
It was,
on Saturday morning before they opened, they had over 300 people queued outside their store. Now, I'm not saying it's down to the sponsorship of the podcast. We've got 9,887
views.
87 views. So
full listens, rather. Sorry.
Yeah. So and then you've got all the views on TikTok of the shorts and stuff. So I'm not saying it's because of the sponsorship of the podcast, but I'm absolutely saying it's a sponsorship of the podcast. So Buy, Play, Trade in Bitton, doing very good business. Purely, we've saved their business. It was already surviving.
It was,
we've saved their business. We've made the guy a trillionaire, all for sponsoring the podcast for very, very cheap.
Yeah.
So we're still waiting for a sponsor from
we need a Portsmouth one, don't we?
PO postcode. So if you're interested in sponsoring the podcast, we'll do it on an episode by episode basis, obviously, because we're at the end of the season. But if you're interested in sponsoring the podcast, email address is southcoastsocialpod@gmail.com, or you can find us on Instagram, X, YouTube, TikTok.
Yeah, you name it, we're on it.
Yeah, we're on all of them. So just drop us a message, Facebook as well, and we'll get back to you. But
guaranteed publicity. That's what I said. It's worked. So
I've never seen anything like it. But they've obviously had a very good week. They also do grading of cards now. I've been told. So when you get like PSA. Like cards, and you get it for like football cards as well. But like for Pokemon cards, they rate them out of 10.
Oh, okay.
And a 10 is like pure because there's like little imperfections that you can get, which means it's like a 9.8.
It was what the Paul brothers do. One of them's done.
Yes, like that one, millions, 16 million or something. Because it was a PSA 10, so they like encase them in these plastics.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, called slabs.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. So they do the grading now. So if you want graded of your Pokemon cards, get down to Buy, Play, Trade in Bitton. Right, something we agree on, and I thought I'd keep it topical this week.
Yep.
I thought we were running out, but I've actually added this one on, so I've still got 2 more. But after that, I'm really struggling.
Well, I'll stop.
You haven't even got one.
No, I haven't even got one yet.
You can't think of another one.
I will come to the fold next week, and we'll agree. I'll find something we can agree on.
Yeah, okay. But something I think that, not just that we can agree on, but I have never spoken to another football fan that doesn't agree with this. Like, there's all sorts of things with VAR, and you get some people who like to watch from home, and they do like it, but the majority don't. But this, I think 100% of football fans agree on, that the semi-final at Wembley is rubbish. Now, I had a good day at Wembley, whatever, but I would have had a good day at Cardiff. I would have had a good day at Villa Park. I would have had a good day at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It wasn't this venue that made it a good day.
No.
It was the occasion and the game. But the semi-final, the part of the prize of making the final should be the day you play at Wembley.
Yeah.
And it was lovely to sing Que Sera in the quarter-final. But there is that element of I do actually wish it was somewhere else, to be honest. And I think when you look at Man City, and I'm not taking the mick here about them not selling out their part of the stadium.
35 times in however many years that they've been there.
I probably wouldn't bother going.
No.
But it's a long trip. I mean, cost-wise, it's not that much different in terms of trains, but it's a long day for them.
Yeah.
They've already been there once this season. Yeah. They've been there 35 times, whatever, over the last 15 years.
They're now going back again in 3 or 4 weeks.
Exactly. It's against a championship team that they're expected to beat. Yeah, I can kind of understand why they weren't necessarily up for it, but I think that proves the point.
Yeah, it does.
That proves the point that having the game at Wembley every time for the semi-final is pointless.
Unless you're a proper lower league, League One, League Two, non-league team, and getting to a semi-final at Wembley will mean something because you've done well to get to that point.
Well, yeah.
But they won't make it to the final because they're going to play someone probably good. But that's really rarely going to happen.
I remember, it's like in the late 90s, not Stevenage, who was it? It was who Kevin Davis used to play for. That's why we bought him. They got to the semi-final. It was at Old Trafford. And then I think it was replayed as well. But I doubt they cared so much. It was a great day for them.
I'm all over. I brought up a Saints fan at work yesterday, Tony, if you're listening, who was quite angry about some reactions from Pompey fans taking the mick. And we brought up about replays and, a lot were at Highbury, a lot were at Villa. Let's just get them back to that. Let's not have a replay. Let's have a semi-final.
Stadiums have got bigger over the years anyway. I think Cardiff would be perfect. I went to the cup final in 2003 there. It's brilliant.
Great night out. So.
It is, yeah. It's in the city centre. It's got a roof, which is amazing. Chesterfield was the team I was thinking of, by the way. It's a great venue, but I think you can work it out. And the reason it will never, or it's unlikely to happen, is just purely down to corporate greed.
Money,
In that, they said, we need to pay for Wembley. That was yonks ago.
Yeah.
What it is now is you've got people in suits who have a P&L sheet that when they go to their end-of-year review, they go, we made X amount of million on this, X amount of million on that. We made X amount of million on the semi-final, blah, blah. But they can't take that off because next year they'll be judged and go, where's that X amount of million gone? Go, well, they won't take it off the page for 1 year of red.
No.
And by the way, they'll still be in profit, so it doesn't matter. But just take it to... So Saints v Man City, somewhere in the Midlands, would have been fine.
Yeah.
Or Cardiff.
Cardiff would be a good one. I think, Cardiff would have been a good one in the Midlands. I mean, Villa's got a decent sized ground, isn't it? Put it in a half decent ground and just enjoy it. And then it might make teams want to win. Everyone wants to win a semi-final, but that thought of, I could actually get to Wembley here.
Yeah.
And we're playing.
It's an additional prize. It should be the pinnacle place to play. It shouldn't really be playing rubbish, 35 times in 15 years, no matter how good.
Exactly. And the fact of, the greed of the FA and all that, that's another topic for another day. But you look, say you made it to the final, they made it to the final, you get 30,000 tickets each maybe?
Yeah.
And where's the other 30 gone? Corporate money.
At the final, you get less than 35,000.
Is it?
You get 35,000 for the semi. It's more like 25.
It's so wrong, isn't it?
Which, I mean...
It's wrong. You might as well play it at Villa or Highbury or Spurs for the final.
Yeah,
we'll definitely agree on that. That's one thing we can agree on.
Yeah, and I think everybody would agree on that. Yeah. So... We're still agreeing on things. Week 3, we can still agree on things.
It's running out quite quickly.
We've had four things in 3 weeks we've agreed on. So, happy about that. Right, so moving on now. We have had another question.
We have had,
So, do you remember last week we begged for a question about Pompey?
I did beg for a question for Pompey, didn't I?
We've got one.
We've got one, yeah. It's technically 2 to us.
I was going to say, I've shown you this, so it's fine anyway. Yeah. So, Wes from Fareham sent in a couple of questions. I'm pretty sure he's a Pompey fan.
He hasn't
mentioned it, but I'm pretty sure he's a Pompey fan. So it starts off, Why is the Saints fan so insufferable?
I mean,
Question one.
that's definitely a Poppy thing to say. Yeah, okay, that's question
I
one.
don't think I've been that bad, have I?
No.
You have to say.
No.
I think I've been pretty fair. I will take the mick out of you, but
I think we've both been pretty fair. We could be a lot worse.
I'm sure it will be. I think
It will get worse.
because we haven't had a derby in this.
No, I mean, we will be next season.
Well, I thought of a feature that we could do, by the way, which will definitely make us worse. So we're going to do some features out at some points, probably in the summer. I don't know when. It'll be like, we've mentioned about like top 5 players that play for both clubs.
derbies.
I think, who's the bigger club and why? That's going to cause... I think that's
going to cause a lot of problems with us and the fan bases of both teams, and there'll be a lot of chatter and discussion about.
But anyway, I think I've been quite fair. But why am I so insufferable?
Because he's a Saints fan. Just because he's a Saints fan,
Smug,
and well, they want to be smug because they haven't won. Yeah.
So to answer that, blame the parents. Does he go to games? Yes, I go to. I'd say.
You go to a lot of games.
90% of games this season.
Yeah, home and away.
Well, I've got that app that tells you how many games you've been to. Like, you log it, and I'm on about 900, I think.
Jesus.
So,
yeah,
I'm not doing too bad on that, Des.
Yeah.
He needs to realise how crap they've been up until February. It's a season-long game. It doesn't matter. That's the insufferable bit coming through.
Yeah, I mean, you were crap up until February, weren't you?
And I've never denied that.
You haven't.
We were terrible.
Yeah.
We had a period just before February where we were good.
Yeah, and then was it 5-6 games, and then it went to rats again, didn't it?
Yeah. So anyway, that's Saints questions over. Cheers, that. He said also, Pompey next season need a refresh, but have done well to stay up in consecutive seasons. What would Chris like to see Pompey go for in the transfer market?
What wouldn't we want to go for?
Well, I mean, we're going to do at the end of the season. We're going to do
an end of season rundown,
and then we'll do a preview of the next season. But yeah, what would you say? Top 1 or 2 things that you would like to see them go for in the transfer market? So players, basically.
Well, we'll talk about this realistically. Depends who leaves. There's going to be a clear out. Mourinho's already said that players will be leaving, whether they're under contract or not. Dazelle is off by all accounts.
He's off.
He's going to America. His contract.
What?
This is typical Portsmouth. Typical Portsmouth. Instead of trying to tie him down and offering him. Basically, just offer it, mate. He has been Mr. Sturdy. Right? He's not flash.
How old is he?
27, 28, maybe not even that. I'm not sure. He's definitely only mid 20s, maybe. He's not flash, but he's Mr. Dependable. He will get you through. When he went out of the squad just before QPR, I think it was, and you could tell.
This is Terry Devlin you're talking about?
No, Dazelle, Andre Dazelle.
We said Devlin.
No, definitely. No, it's going to be hard to keep. We'll talk about Devlin in the end of the season. Because that's Dazzelle's going to America, DC United. Not been confirmed, but by all accounts, pretty much done deal. Portsmouth have let him go on a free contract up, not renewed contract. He's decided to go to America and cheap out and basically get a payday at his age. So we're going to need a central midfielder because I don't think Pack, for how good he's been this season,
he's going to be manager. So
he is cracking on. And I know we got Ibu Adams, perfect. We're going to need another 1 or 2 in that position. And this kind of bodes into the stat of the week for behalf of Portsmouth.
Yeah.
We need a striker.
Okay.
When we've got Colby Bishop, for whatever Colby Bishop is, Colby Bishop will always go down in Pompey folklore as a brilliant player for us. What he done in League One, what he done coming back from heart surgery last year to get his 10 or 13 goals, whatever it was, amazing. He will always go down and always be welcome. This year, 3 goals, 2 from open play, 1 from the penalty spot. Unfortunately, in the Championship, will not keep you up.
I don't know if this is fair. I mean, this might be me being a little bit. What was the word he said I was? Insufferable. This might be me being insufferable. When I've watched Pompey, I find he hides. I don't know whether you see that. So so say if the ball's out wide, if I'm watching him and his movement in the box, he's
not where he should be.
He's hiding behind a defender all the time. So it's a confidence thing.
He's a strong player. He's a big guy, right? He's not the one who's going to run on and break the defence. But he doesn't. A lot of the games he doesn't jump for balls, headers, and he's the bloke who should be in the 5-yard box tapping them in. The ball comes and he's not there.
Fair enough.
But as for stat of the week, I've just seen that, which lies onto the whole we need a striker, or I say 2 strikers.
Yeah.
The average goals scored per game in the Championship this year for Pompey is 1.02.
Okay.
And that is why, up until 5 or 6 games ago, we were in real shit creek with.
Yeah, I'd imagine if you took that stat 5 games ago, it'd be a bit different.
Yeah.
But okay, so striker and a central midfielder.
Striker and a central midfielder.
We'll go into more detail on that
definitely.
towards the end of the season, and then
hopefully that's
like a pre-season one.
Hopefully that Wes gets the answers he wants, and
Wes, I called him Des.
Wes, Wes from Fairham,
Talking a stat of the day, I've got a stat of the day. So last week, I can't remember how we came onto this subject, but we were talking about when the last time one of our teams did the league double over the other, because it's not happened for a really long time. I said it was probably the 60s. So I've looked into it for the benefit of those on absolute tenterhooks. I've been thinking about it all week, no doubt.
Before you say it, I'm going to say 80s.
Okay, well, the last double was in 2004-05, but that was a league and cup.
Oh, okay.
And that was when we beat you 2-1 in both games, and it was the Crouch FA Cup penalty when 94th minute. We also did it the year before in 2003.
Cup.
No, I remember doing this. It was cup. We hadn't played each other for ages. We played you in the League Cup and then in the league, and we beat you 2-0. But it was only 19 days later we beat you 3-0. And I was about 15, 16. I wish I was older, because that would have been...
So have you got any... When was the last time Pompey...
So that was, again, cup and league. The last league double was 1975-76.
Wow.
And that was Saints. Saints won 4-0 at home, 1-0 away in the old Division 2.
Wow.
I think Pompey got relegated that year.
Probably.
I haven't double-checked, but we won the FA Cup that year as well. So what a year that was.
That 50th anniversary when you had the bus outside on Tuesday night. Oh, look, it's our open top.
I haven't seen the videos there. And that was a run of 9 games undefeated that went back to 1964.
Okay.
Which was then the last time that Pompey did the double over Southampton.
1954.
League double. I don't think there were any other cup doubles, but 1963-64 season was the last time Pompey did the league double over Southampton. So there we go.
And another quick fact of the day. Today is the anniversary of Portsmouth winning their first of 2 FA Cups. Yeah,
I played the cliche. There we go.
Yeah. Oh, we've done well to get through to this point of the show with only one ding. Well, my ding on you, but so today is the anniversary of our famous win in 1939, our first of 2 FA Cup wins. It's so famous. Longest in living memory, wasn't it? The longest we kept the cup for, thanks to Mr. Hitler.
I was going to say, is Hitler your biggest statue up?
Biggest Pompey fan, So that was our second fact of the day.
Good. Okay, well, thanks for the questions. Like I say, we've now had a few questions. If you've got any feedback, questions or abuse, do send it through to social media or email southcoastsocialpod@gmail.com. We've also set up it's called Buy Me a Coffee, I think it is.
Yeah.
So if you go on to any of our social media, there's a link there which takes you to all the podcasts, all of our other social medias and everything like that. But there's a thing that says in there, Buy Me a Coffee. It's like a third-party website where you can just pay a few quid and it'll go towards supporting the podcast. But what I thought would be quite funny with that, I mean, it does help because I'm still in the red for setting this up. What would be quite good is you could put a comment in when you buy someone a coffee. So you could put Chris for Pompey, Sean for Saints, and see who gets the most coffee out of it.
It's got to be Pompey fans, isn't it? I just got to be Pompey fans.
Why is that?
Just they look after their own, don't they?
Do they?
They support their own. So I think we'll have a good shot at that.
Don't get into the point of begging.
No, I don't need to beg.
We begged for a question and that worked.
We begged for a question. I'd love some more questions. But we begged for questions. We've somewhat begged for sponsorship.
Yeah.
But we're not going to beg for coffee. But you put in any comments, then that would.
Go onto the link tree on our social media. There's a little link in there that you can buy us a coffee, and you'll get a little shout out on the podcast.
Yeah.
And it'll put either a Pompey fan or a Saints fan. See who's got the best fans.
Definitely.
That's the way to do it. Who's got best fans?
Yep. I just very quickly on that. Then the best fans.
Here we go. Go on.
I saw a podcast from a West Brom fan today.
Okay.
And he gave his thoughts on who were the best fans at.
Do I ding the bell for this? I think I do.
You're going to have to because it's Pompey. I don't know where Saints finished. Well, I don't know. I don't know if they were top 10. I don't know. I don't think they were. Maybe they were. I don't know. But Pompey were first. And they were second last year. We've upped it to first. So we've just got the best fans. So when we get these coffees coming through, we're going to see who's got the best.
We'll see that, when the coffees come through. I've got to say, by the way, it's not a really fashionable thing to say. You're supposed to say every fans that come are terrible. Ipswich were good last night. I mean, it was that they were going to get promoted if they won, so they were probably in a bit of a mood. They've had all day to drink, but and they obviously sold out their end because it's such a big game. But yeah, they made a lot of noise.
They did. They had free.
And the good thing is when because like we had Blackburn there, and I don't blame them because it was a late rearranged game. They had like 200 fans and stuff. And it means that you can't get that back and forth, and it affects the atmosphere on both sides. But we had a good bit of back and forth. A lot of Saints fans saying they were terrible. A lot of Ipswich fans saying we were terrible.
That's just your stadium, I think.
That's the way to go. Yeah, you can't actually hear each other that well. But
I mean,
could hear them.
They've had 3 away games. They've got another away game this weekend. They've had 3 away games on the trot.
Oh, expensive.
Tuesday. You know, fair play to them. I mean, they came to us. They were loud until we beat them 2-0, and they weren't very loud. But from what I watched on the last portion of it, they were loud. You know, fair play to them. Yeah.
Anyway. I think that about wraps it up. Yeah. We'll be back next week for
final week's
games. Yeah, we'll be reviewing those games that we've just talked about, and then it's on to the playoffs.
Unfortunately for you.
I was going to say, you won't be involved.
No, but we're there. We'll see you next season. So, yeah, thank you very much.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.